Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. We've missed a few weeks, but we've missed you.
Brown.
We're tanned because we went to Dubs.
We're braided up.
Dubs by. We went to Marrakesh.
Yeah, we went to a lot of
Went
places.
to Bahrain. We've been
Yeah.
getting about. And guess what? I've got a surprise.
We're getting about some more.
Saltwater taffy!
I was like, what is that? I thought it was like I thought it was highlighters when I first saw it.
So my brother's girlfriend brought me saltwater taffy from New York, and if you guys don't know what saltwater taffy is, insert the
Friends.
clip from Ross because
saltwater taffy!
okay, so we're gonna try some.
Are you going to try it now?
Yeah,
I should have bought my Dubai chocolate.
I'm gonna try. Oh yeah, you should have next time. You can try.
Not next time. It only lasts like 3 days. You can bring back some more.
Oh yeah,
Which one did you get?
I got the yellow and pink. What did you get?
I don't know if I should go for just plain pink or the pink and white. I'm going to go for plain pink.
I actually she
these
bought
are
these
good,
for
I'ma
me
bring them
a
back.
few weeks ago, and everyone in my house has had, like, my parents have got
They
a pack,
smell
my brother's got a
good.
pack. They've all eaten their whole packs already.
It looks like
and
that
I've
kind
been
of
holding
addictive-
this pack hostage so we could try it.
It looks like those kind of addictive type of sweets.
It smells really sweet.
What is taffy?
I actually have no idea.
Shake that leather, taffy. Is that the same thing as saltwater
Ooh.
taffy?
Oh,
Is Laffy Taffy the same as saltwater taffy?
No
I don't know.
idea.
Somebody tell me. Well, sure.
It's not what I was expecting at all. It's
feel
not
like-
crazy sweet either.
I feel like I've eaten this before.
Yeah, it tastes like something familiar.
I think I got watermelon flavour.
I think it's banana. In my one.
Oh, and mine tastes like banana too. Oh my god, it's hurting my jaw.
Yeah, it's very chewy. Okay, that was enjoyable. What do you think? I mean, I wouldn't buy them.
Yeah, it's good.
Just thought that was nice ASMR for everyone.
Not the Red Bull.
I had some Reeboks. I'm
Gosh.
tired.
Yeah, I had a cappuccino. I was gonna get something else, and I thought I'm gonna try the white one too.
But that's what my mum doesn't like.
What flavor is this?
I don't know. What flavor they have?
Oh my god, this is so confusing.
Really?
Because it's like,
Now you like it?
I can't figure out what flavor it is. Anyway, that was fun.
Right, so back to the main event. So we're going to be discussing, we're going to do Am I the Arseholes, which Helena actually doesn't know anything about, which is kind of crazy. You've never seen this on TikTok before? So Am I the Arseholes is basically a segment on Reddit, for those who don't know, where
bit of
people
Reddit.
put in their, like, problems and they ask, am I in the wrong?
Oh,
So then people can comment back.
I
just like
should have
that.
done this.
So we're going to read out, we're both going to take turns reading out Am I the Arsehole scenarios, and then we're going to discuss them.
I'm addicted to this taffy now.
I've sent you one.
Take the taffy away.
Okay. You go. Read
okay.
it. I've sent you one to read out.
ATV, is it that one?
What?
Or AIT,
So
AITA.
that sounds for Am I the Arsehole?
Right. Am I
Go.
the arsehole for telling my mum she was an unwanted guest? Am I reading out the whole thing?
Yeah.
Jesus. My wife has had a stressful time at work and was looking forward to a vacation at her grandparents' cabin. She bought a few books she wanted to read, and I brought my fishing rod. She had no plans to entertain. My dad stopped by to go fishing. It was supposed to be just my dad stopping by for the day, but somehow my mum inserted herself and I was shocked to see her. My wife had no plans to entertain her. I told my mum that. My mum bought stuff for lunch and dinner and tried to engage my wife into making dinner for us all, and my wife said no. She's relaxing and reading. If my mum wanted to cook, that's my mum's prerogative. My dad and I get back late, and at the table, my mum started to complain how she did all this herself. I looked at my wife, who just took her plate and ate in her room. My mum started to complain to me about it, and I told my mum she technically wasn't invited, and my wife had no expectations to entertain her in my wife's cabin while my wife is on vacation. My mum started saying, well, she wouldn't have came if she knew that. I told my mum, next time take the hint. If you aren't invited, don't come. My parents left after dinner. My mum complained that my wife should have tried to be a gracious host, and I said maybe my mum should try not being an unwanted guest.
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of rude, isn't it?
I think there's a lot of stuff to unpack here.
But
Number one,
it depends
boundaries.
if you're the wife or if you're the mother.
I think there's issues on both sides. So like the mum, obviously he doesn't know boundaries, which means have you set clear boundaries with your parents? Because he's like try not being an unwanted guest, but like, why does your mum think this is acceptable behavior? You know?
And I feel like a lot of wives would just be like, cool, I'll just cook.
I
now
100%
that
would
you're
have
here.
just cooked.
I don't think I would have.
I would have.
On your holiday?
Yeah. Because
Why?
I wouldn't want to have beef with my partner's parents. You're still eating these.
I'm not good.
I wouldn't want to have beef with my partner's parents.
I don't think I'd care.
Really?
It's your husband.
It's your family. This is your
Yeah,
family
but
that you're
like-
marrying into. If this was your parent, would you do it?
Not that I'd want to have beef, but like I just think understand if I'm coming here for my holiday and I've said I'm not cooking.
Yeah,
why
so
are you
on the
trying to make
flip
me
side,
cook?
I completely understand where she's coming from. And I think that she shouldn't have to cook. She's on holiday, she's on vacation, she should be able to do whatever the hell she wants. And the mum shouldn't be encroaching on that. However, if my mother-in-law asks me to cook, I'm probably going to do it. Or like maybe I just would, or maybe I would have done it in like a better way. I think maybe the way she handled it wasn't great. Like she could have said like, okay, like I'll help you do this and this, and that's all I'm doing, or something. But like to like not address situation, to go sit and eat in your room, it's all causing a lot of hostility.
Or can't you just be like, let's order something?
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be a middle ground here.
Yeah, I'd be like, actually, I've come here to not cook, so should we either go out or order something? That would be my solution.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just think it's the way it sounds. Like maybe there's like prior tension here. Because like I just can't imagine going to my mother-in-law, like the mother of my partner, like who you love, you're with this person, you're married to this person,
Don't mean you love their mum.
True, but I would still try. Like I would still try. I think even if I was at my house, if I was on holiday and even you came to me and you were like, I really want to cook, can we cook? And I wasn't in the mood, I'd still try and find a solution. Do you know what I mean? It's not even necessarily just the mom. Like anyone that it is, like I wouldn't want them to be like, I wouldn't want to be rude to them.
Yeah.
But I understand where she's coming from. I think also the son is a problem here.
Yeah, he's kind of rude to the mum.
One. I mean, everyone's more rude to their parents than other people are. But like, I feel like he should have set those boundaries with his mum from before.
Yeah.
Because like really and truly, like it's your partner's job to manage their parents.
Yeah.
So like, why has he not set a boundary with this mum so that she's not like, even when she arrived, she should have been like, no, like we can't chill out here. Like,
What do you mean you can't come to the cabin?
no, you can't come chill at the cabin.
Well, but he should have said that before they got there.
Yeah, but he did say that the mum was never invited. He was shocked to see her. So when she got there, he should have said, oh, like you can't chill here.
Yeah.
You have to come with us or something, you know?
Because also you don't know, like some trips it's not for other people, it's just for like you and your man. So like why is the whole family rolling
Or
up?
maybe he should have just like, yeah, but also like actually if you're on a cabin vacation with your wife, like why is your dad even rolling up to go fishing with you? You're not on vacation with your dad.
Yeah.
You're on vacation with your wife. There's a lot of issues here. There's lots of ways to think about
I wouldn't
this.
like to have in-laws like that. That would really annoy me.
What do you mean?
Like in-laws who just want to do things and just rolling up and...
I think it depends on your relationship though. Like if you have a good relationship with like your in-laws.
Yeah, but you might have a good relationship. Doesn't mean you want them to be on every holiday.
Oh,
with you.
absolutely not. I don't want them on any holidays.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them on any
No,
unless
like some holidays,
No.
cool.
No. Unless I'm bringing you to take care of the babies, you're not coming.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Holidays is to get away from life. I don't want to get away from life with my in-laws. So unless it's
I
like...
wouldn't mind that.
No, not really. Or my own parents. Unless it's like a dedicated like family holiday, I'm not interested. Or unless you're here to look after the kids, I'm not interested. And I don't think if I reckon my partner will be like, oh yeah, like my sisters want to go on like a family holiday, like we'll go with the kids. Cool. I don't think I'll be insinuating this. My brother drives me crazy. My sister drives me crazy. My mum and dad drive each other crazy. It's too much crazy. No thanks. I'm gonna pass on that.
Really? No, I like a group trip.
Group trips and family trips are not the same, hun. They are not the same.
I think if I have a good relationship with the in-laws, then I don't mind. Like I feel like with my ex, my in-laws, I lived with them. Like it was okay.
Yeah,
like,
but
we
this
had
is the same relationship that's got them turning up at the cabin.
Yeah, I think if they turned out, if I was, especially I think if I was working like a 9 to 5, this was like my 1 week of fucking
That's
holiday.
even worse.
Yeah, that's even worse. You're trying to have some cheeky time with your man.
Cheeky time. Even she just wants to read a book. She just wants to relax. She just wants
That's
to
going to be
unwind.
me in 20 years. I just want to read my book.
Just want to unwind, and you're turning up on my holiday. No, I don't think so. That's what unless I need to be pre-warned.
This is why you don't really tell people where
and
you're going.
pre-planned. Like if you're like cool, we're going to Greece. It's a family holiday, so I'm pre-warned. I can like prepare myself for that. Cool, but there's no tagging on or adding on or none of this stuff. I'm happy to leave the kids at home. In fact, they can stay with the grandparents, keep them occupied.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So in that scenario, everybody's wrong.
Is that the
The synopsis.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, they left. I didn't realize they left after dinner.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. They just came for one day to mess up the whole thing.
And probably had an argument after that.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not letting my inheritance be used for my step and half siblings when I'm not going to college? I, 17 male, won't be going to college after high school, and instead I'm going to learn a trade. I feel like it works better for my skills and generally would be a better job for me. My mum isn't super happy about it, but she knows college has been pushed on me for almost 2 years and my mind hasn't changed. So she's accepted it and she won't change my mind and nobody will. Here's why my post is here. My dad died when I was 6. When he was 9, my grandma, his mum, died, and it was due to medical negligence / malpractice, and my grandpa, uncle, and dad were awarded compensation, a huge amount too, for her death. Granddad split it between my dad and uncle. He was working and received social security benefits for them because grandma died, and he knew she'd want them to be taken care of above everything. When my dad realized he was sick, he made sure the money would go to me, his only kid. He set it up in a trust and left my granddad and uncle in charge of it. My money is a lot. I could easily be debt-free going to college with it, and with it have some left over if I was smart about it. My mum knew about the money but cannot access it. My mum has been married to her husband for 9 years. My parents were separated when my dad died, by the way. Her husband has a son who's a year younger than me and has a medical condition. My mum also has 2 kids with her husband and my half siblings. Because of my stepbrother's medical condition and his mum not being in his life, my mum has taken over responsibility, and they don't really have any savings for his college anymore. They had to spend most of it on medical stuff, and my half siblings have nothing either. My mum and husband think that since I have the money and won't be using it for college, I should give it up to my stepbrother and half siblings and let them pay it back, but that I could also give it to them as a way of helping them out for their futures and being a good brother. I said no. I told them I won't change my mind. My mum asked why, and I said it's my inheritance from my dad and I could buy a house with it. I could protect my future with it. I could save for my future kids, but I don't want to risk it by not being paid back when it was my dad's way of securing my future. She told me he'd want me to do this, and I asked her if she really thinks he'd want me to give my money and give it to some random kids that aren't me. She told me they aren't random kids, they're my siblings. She believes he'd want me to do this as a good brother. She told me I should really give it more consideration. Am I the asshole? Absolutely not.
This is crazy.
Give the kids the money.
No.
You're joking.
He will never see that money again.
Never. There's no way.
This happened like similar in somebody in my family where somebody died and there's like a bunch of siblings, and then the person who passed away gave one of the siblings all of the money, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So obviously that person could have been like, bye. But obviously she was nice and split it between her siblings, but like she didn't have to do that.
No.
But
I think the thing is, these kids have their own dad.
Yeah.
They have the mum. This is for them to sort out. This is not for him to say, oh, I'm going to give my money to my siblings to sort out their future.
And also, who said he had to use that money to go to college? That
no
could
one.
Have been
it's
used
his
for
inheritance.
Anything.
Like, he can use it on what he wants.
No, that's ridiculous.
I think this is a big fat no for
But
me.
the thing is, the problem is this is going to cause a whole family feud.
That's not his fault. And he shouldn't have to pay the consequences of other people's actions.
Yeah.
First of all, you're poor. You got all these kids, you're poor, can't send them to high school, to university.
Yeah.
That's not his fault. Like, none of this is his fault. So why should he pay the burden of it?
And he's 17. 17 is still so young.
Well, also, he's not even saying, oh, I'm going to take all this money and go like buy a Lamborghini and waste it. He's saying I could buy a house. I could save this money for my future kids. Like, he's actually like being responsible with the money. So why should you now give this money away? I just don't see why that's the thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, like,
I
love
don't
my
think it's
siblings.
fair.
Like, I could understand like giving them a nice little 10 grand maybe, but like he's clearly got a lot of cash if he can buy a house.
Yeah, I think if he gives them something, if he's got like in the millions, and like give them a little something as a gift, like, because you don't have to do that. Even like a grand each, you don't have to do that. But yeah, no. Giving them the full money is crazy.
There's no chance.
Or why doesn't he just lie to the parents and say he went to university and then just not go? Because a lot of American kids do this.
I just wouldn't. Well, you shouldn't have to lie.
That Asian girl that killed her parents, she was doing this. You ever watched her Netflix documentary?
She didn't go to uni, did she?
She told them that she was at
lying.
uni and she lied. If I was him, I'd just do that. I'd be like, okay, cool, fine. I'll go to uni and spend the money there.
And then just like go live your life.
Yeah.
And then when he has a house, they're going to be like, oh, so like.
Well, they'll be too late by then. Or they could just be, or he could just be like, oh, I got this out from my degree money.
I got this from my degree money.
Degree and you know everything.
No, literally. But yeah, I think that
someone needs to take the taffy
I'm
away.
taking the taffy away because I'm not going to have any taffy to eat.
Take the taffy away. It's too addictive.
Yeah, my mum literally ate like 2 bags in a row.
Yeah, this is my last one.
Do you know what
now.
sugar that is?
Am I the arsehole for making my son pay for a new pizza when he didn't save any for the rest of the family? What?
This one's
I'm
paid.
45 female, have 2 kids, 14 male and 17 female. My son has high functioning ASD, and honestly, most people cannot tell, but it comes out in certain aspects of his relationship, such as thinking about others, compassion, etc. My son also eats a lot of food, way more than someone for his age. He's not overweight in any ways. The doctors have not considered this a problem. Here comes a problem. For years, when we've ordered food, he has neglected to realize that the food we ordered is for the whole family, not just for him. My husband and I have both spoken to him about this multiple times, and usually he gives just half-hearted apologies. We're working on this with his therapist, among other issues he has. On Friday, my daughter had work after school, so she drove herself there while my son took the bus home. He said he was hungry, so I ordered a pizza and told him to save some for his father and sister. I only took a slice. Usually my daughter does not eat much, 1 to 2 slices, and the same thing with my husband. That would have left him with 5 slices of a large pizza. About 2 hours later, my daughter comes home and sees the empty pizza box and starts bawling. She usually, I mean, that's annoying, coming home from a long shift at work and there's no food.
Yeah.
Stress.
Rattled.
She usually is not one to complain about food and will usually just make her own food, but she did not have time to eat before work today, and during lunch she was making up a test, so she didn't eat since breakfast. I was furious at my son and deducted the money for a new pizza plus a generous tip to the delivery driver from my son's bank account. My son saw and now he is pissed. My daughter thought it was the right thing to do, especially when this is about the 3rd time it's happened to her. My son's reasoning is that he doesn't work, so his only sources of income are for his birthday and Christmas, so my daughter should have paid since she had a job. My husband and I both are on board with what I did, but I don't know, is my son right? I'm in the arsehole. Update. For everyone saying we are underfeeding him, we have tons of food in the house, the fridge is stocked, we have snacks, ingredients, etc. My son refuses to learn how to cook, and even when we had offered him cooking classes, even without learning to cook, we have boxed pasta, popcorn, bread, vegetables and fruit, rice, etc., all of which require no cooking ability. He simply chose to eat the whole pizza.
Just for those who don't know, ASD is autism. No, I don't think she's an arsehole at all. I think he needs to, I think even if you have like autism or something like that, you do still have to like learn lessons about like being caring and being generous and being considerate of people around you. And although it is harder for him, sometimes, what did my mum say? Those who not hear must feel.
I think they've been too nice to him so far because they have just let him get away with it. They're like, oh, stop eating all the food, but then nothing happens. So he's just like, meh.
Yeah.
So he has to like feel it. But they should, if I was them, I just wouldn't even order pizza. And I'd be like, well, you're 17, you're going to starve.
Yeah, I'd force him to have to learn how to cook at this point.
Because there was a point where I was living at home where my dad was basically like, he didn't say it, but like it was an unwritten rule where like, you're not my problem anymore. Basically, like, when it came to like a certain age, it was like, here's my dinner.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Nah, Deb still be cooking for my brother.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
my mum will always cook for my brother. And I cook for myself, but like she cooks for my brother.
I think it's mums and sons.
Mums and sons.
My dad was like,
really? Dunzo. I mean, you don't shock me. Your dad seems like that kind of person. I feel like if he could have given you the reins at 14 if he like could. He'd have been like, go and do it, man. Yeah. He was giving you responsibility from early. But also I just think like girls are generally like more responsible. Like we do take on these roles a lot sooner than like our siblings would. Like male siblings, I should say. Yeah,
because I remember me and my sister used to come home from school. We used to have to make like not dinner, but like our like after school snack.
What was your after school snack?
Different things. Like sometimes it'd be like pasta. Some would be like.
Oh, so you were cooking?
Yeah, like pizza bread. Like.
Oh no, I was not doing any of that.
Yeah, we'd get like toast, tomato paste, cheese.
Really?
Pizza bread.
No.
Yeah, like cheese toasty.
They used to make that at school, pizza bread. But no, I wasn't allowed to cook. Mom was like, no. I learned how to cook when I was about 14, 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom sent me to my aunt's house to like learn all the basics.
I was like 10 years old making like herb crusted lamb rack.
Must be nice.
It's also because I didn't eat fish. So like when my dad would cook fish for the family, I'd have to cook my own like meat.
He wouldn't cook for you?
Sometimes, but like.
So I didn't eat fish when I was young.
I used to like, I want the lamb.
Mom would always make me a separate meal.
Yeah, he used to. Then I think he got a bit sick of it, and he was like.
Also, my mum was also like, that's her like love language, is like cooking for people. So like she was happy to like cook.
Yeah, I used to like it as well.
Fair.
So
I mean, that doesn't shock me because you really love food.
Well, yeah, I used to like the cooking, so I used to make like random things.
So in short, no, you're not the arsehole. You need to probably be a bit harder on this kid because he clearly doesn't know boundaries.
Yeah, he needs to know how to make things himself.
And he needs to learn to cook, because otherwise he's never going to have a sense of independence. And I also feel like sometimes like with kids who are on like the spectrum, I feel like their parents like baby them a lot longer, which obviously I understand. Like obviously things are different for them, it's harder for them to learn things, but at some point you do have to, especially if they're high functioning, because it sounds like this kid is high functioning, then you kind of need to give him like start teaching him responsibility at some point. Otherwise he's never going to fly the nest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's never going to have any like life, because he's going to always be under his parents' wing because they didn't teach him.
I think this is just a problem with mothers in general, though, because a lot of mothers like baby their
Sons,
big grown
specifically.
20-year-old sons, changing their sheets. Wait, what was that song? Messing up my sheets and violating. That just came to my head. Anyway, yeah, changing the sheets and doing their laundry and moving. Like, do you know what's another thing that mums like to do? Take the cups out of the room.
When my brother went on holiday recently, he's gonna be so embarrassed if he ever listens to this.
He's gonna listen, Zachary.
And my mum packed his suitcase for him.
What? Like when he went away, like this year?
Mm-hmm.
This is embarrassing. You need to fix up. No, why is she doing this? Debs, I know you're listening. Stop it.
Yeah, my mum is like she's very nurturing, and she's just not ready to like let go.
Mums are so like this with their sons. Like I feel like daughters were just like whatever, but their sons, like they.
And the thing is, it's not that he's
like,
not capable.
coddling them.
It's not that he's not capable, because if my mum said to him, "I'm not doing it," and he had to do it,
Yeah.
he's more than capable. He just knows that she'll do it.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, that's the problem. I think even in my house, like I never used to wash up my dishes. I knew my dad would always do it. So when you know someone's going to do it,
you know
you're
what
like,
you can get away with, so you keep going.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, next.
Okay, am I the asshole for refusing to allow my ex access to money I saved for our son? My ex and I, both 30, share a 12-year-old son. Gosh, young. We broke up when our son was 4 weeks old. We shared physical custody from the time he was 14 months, and I had visitation prior, as is standard because our son was breastfed. Oh, they had both had custody. When our son was 4, my ex remarried. My ex now has 4 additional children with her husband, and this is where her wish for access to that money comes from. I saved for my son and set up an account that only I can access for right now. I think he was meant to say ex, was never part of this, so I never added her to the account. I also have it protected should anything happen to me and my ex won't take control of it. One of my ex's children was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer. Their household has seen a lot of changes and my son has struggled with those changes. I pick up the difference where I can. So my son still goes to his activities paid for by me. I put extra in his lunch account at school so he can always get a school lunch, his preference over packed lunch from home. And I went a little bigger for Christmas, which I always start buying early. My son always knew I saved for his future. He mentioned it to his mum after his mum said they were pulling all finances on their end, including anything put aside for the futures of him and his half siblings. This brought my ex to me and she asked how much I saved, which I refused to tell her. She asked me for access to the account and I said no. She suggested I should give it to her so it can go towards funding all the help they need to cover the cost of a sick child, and I refused. My ex tried to get our son involved and my son told me he didn't want to keep giving stuff up and he didn't want him to take his money. I promised my son it wouldn't happen. My ex ended up sending me a breakdown of what they want the money for. I did look it over, but only after I told her I would not take our son's money and give it to her for her other child. I told her I had a duty to my son and not her other children. Ex started calling me names, so I ended the call. She then sent me a text asking how I could say no to helping a child who's sick. I told her that their sick child was not my responsibility and my responsibility is to ensure our son has a good life. The child I made with her, not the children she made with her husband. My son has not had to deal with any of the fallout so far, hopefully never, but my ex has sent several texts since and her husband sent a few of his own. Her husband sending them? That is out of pocket. Where's his cash? I'm sorry, what?
I think it's a very, very touchy and hard subject.
It's not your child.
But a child is dying.
There's many children dying. Does that mean he should give the money to all these other kids?
No, it doesn't. But this is an immediate child. This is a sibling of his child.
I don't think that's fair.
It's not fair. However, like, sick kids is not something anybody wants. It's not something that like the mum asked for. And if that kid was to pass away and this brother finds out that realizes, oh, I didn't give any of this money and my brother's now dead, then what?
I don't know.
You're going to regret that for the rest of your life because it's just money.
I just don't think it's his responsibility.
I don't think.
Where's the dad's? Where's the husband? The dad's cash? Where's his cash?
I mean, I totally agree with that, but also like I'm assuming these people are in America because they're either in a country where they have to pay for medical care, and it's all good and well being like, where's the cash? If this kid's been sick for a long time, like we don't have that information, all the cash could be gone. They could have had hundreds of thousands saved. They've now had to use that all for this kid.
Brother's saying he doesn't want his money to be gone.
I mean, I think if the brother doesn't want to give his money, he doesn't want to give his money. Like, it's that simple. Like, and I don't think he should have to. But I don't. I think it's not as new. I think it's a more nuanced subject, like than that. Like this child is like dying basically.
The son is he's 12.
Yeah, like he's not old enough to understand that.
Yeah.
And when he's an adult, if anything happens to his brother, God forbid, he's gonna regret that decision. And I just don't think we should be putting. I could understand like him saying like I don't want to give all the money, but like maybe they can pay it back, like or something. Like, but like medical bills. Remember, like, I feel like the thing is in America is like medical bills they rack up, and if tomorrow it's like cool, he needs this life-changing surgery or he's gonna die. There's no.
I think that's different. If it's like he needs this life surgery or he's gonna die. If it's just like the medical bills are racking up, we need some cash. Can't they do a GoFundMe?
Maybe. I don't know. I think when it comes to health, like I think it's important. I think we could be a bit more like. I think he could be a bit more sympathetic.
I don't know if you was with a man who had a kid, a previous child from a previous relationship, and you were sitting on 30 grand in your savings account, and your man's like, "Oh, my child is sick. Please, can I have £20,000?"
So how long have I been in this relationship? Because if I'm just dating you and I'm sorry, I'm not just gonna give you my 20 grand. But like,
no, it's your husband.
This is the thing, we're married. I'm like, I probably have some attachment to this child.
Do you think he'll do the same for you?
I hope so. But I also don't think that I can base that decision on whether or not he'd do that for me and my kid. Because if someone's life is at stake, I just don't think money's as important as a life at stake. Like this kid could potentially die. If my husband's kid dies because I didn't give him 20 grand, I have no husband. I have no life. It's done. I just think when someone's life's at stake, I think like we should be a bit more like mindful of like maybe giving.
I don't think giving the whole 20 grand. So you're left with nothing. Something happens then. Okay, so you give the 20 grand. The child still passes away, sadly. The husband's depressed. He then breaks up with you because your relationship is now strained. You now have no savings. You're dead on the street.
I'm not. What the hell? How did I become homeless? That's an extremity.
But you get into credit card debt. You lose your house. You lose.
Why
would
I get into credit card debt if I gave away it's my savings, it's not my salary?
You're on the street. You can't work because you're so depressed.
This is a very extreme situation right now. I don't know. All I'm saying is like it's not just like, for instance, the previous scenario was just like, oh, I'm going to send my siblings to college. They can go kick rocks. But this is a child in the hospital. And I think obviously I've had a sibling that was in the hospital. And I know that if this was my parents and this was my sibling that was dying and I hadn't given that money, as an adult now, I would be regretting that.
I also think there's other people to go to first, like the grandparents, maybe like, know, friends. Like there's other people who might be able to help.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that this is his obligation, because it's not.
Get a loan.
And I kind of completely understand why he's saying he's not giving the money. However, what I'm saying is, if there's a kid's life at stake here, then we should consider it. It doesn't have to be all the money. It doesn't have to be every penny, but some of the money can go to making sure that this kid maybe potentially has a more comfortable life while he's here or she's here. I just think when it comes to kids especially, it's a hard situation. And having kids who are sick long term is a hard situation. So I'm just a bit sympathetic to that, I think.
And the dad better get a second job.
Maybe he has 2 jobs.
Well, better get a third job.
No.
I think also it's like, as a man, as a dad, as a husband, it is your responsibility to look after your family. Like, yeah, I get sometimes you're not going to be able to, but like, what's the situation? I think I have more compassion. If you're working 3 jobs and you still can't make ends meet and your child is sick, then I think I have more compassion. But if you're working your one job, you're sitting on the sofa.
I mean, I doubt that's the situation, though. I doubt that's the situation. Men. Nah, I think like when you're talking about someone's life,
the wife is going to work, doing up the most.
I think when you're talking about someone's life, people act differently. This is not just a run of the mill. This is not just a run of the mill like child support situation. Like, this is someone in. I think it's going to be deeper than that. Anyway, let's try the next one.
I should have written. I've got a lot of fucking am I the arsehole issues that I could have dealt with on here. Am I the asshole for demanding my friend pays for the chair she broke? I have this friend who's pretty big, like 350 pounds or maybe a bit more, while everyone else in our circle is more on the slim side. I love her very much and want her to feel at home at my place, so I made sure that my new chairs at the dining table are safe for her to use. But then she didn't really find them comfortable. No armrests that would be tight to fit in or curved seats to press into her legs or anything. It was just that they weren't upholstered enough for her liking or something. So then she saw that nice comfy lounge chair in my living room and dragged it over to the table because she wanted to use it instead. I told her it might not be as sturdy as the chairs, but she still wanted to use it. It's a designer chair from one of those cup-formed ones with thin brass legs, beautiful but not very stable. Got it at a designer outlet for $250 a few weeks ago. She sat down in it all good. Then she raised one of her legs to put it on the rim of the chair and against the table. Okay. Then she decided to fold her other leg below her onto the chair and shifted her weight back and to the left to do this, tilting the chair slightly back whilst holding onto the table to do this acrobatics. The chair creaked, then the leg bent and broke, and she crashed to the floor with it. My friend hurt her elbow and everyone was all over her and making her feel good that night, including me. We got her an ice pack and everything and no blame. She was clearly shocked and shaken, so it wasn't the time to talk about the chair. She blamed the chair for not being sturdy right away though and said many times how it sucks to be treated like this by the world. I didn't say much in that moment, but the next day I called her to ask about paying for the chair. See, it cost much and I didn't offer it to her. And she broke it. She's extremely angry now, and our group friend is split. Some say that I'm wrong because her weight isn't her fault, and she should be able to do what she likes regardless. Otherwise, it's discrimination. And also, I should have told her absolutely not to sit on that chair if I wasn't sure it would support her. Some are on my side and say she shouldn't have dragged a chair over that wasn't intended to be used at the table, and if she did, she should have just kept her feet on the floor, as that clearly worked better, and that she knows her weight and associated issues best. I agree with the latter and also want full price from her. I won't be able to replace the chair with the same model. The regular price is just too high and none are left at the outlet, but it was just a few weeks old, so I think I deserve the full price to get something else instead. Also, I'm just £120 and I love her, but why would I have to buy only chairs that can support thrice my own weight? That's not how it works in my head. Am I the arsehole for asking for $250 for the damaged chair? It can't be repaired either.
Run me my money.
I think, what was the bit that I thought? Oh, that they were saying that it's discrimination. I should have told her not to sit on the chair.
The
problem is if you say, oh, don't sit on this chair because you're too large, that's also, then it's going to cause an argument. But
Yeah.
I've actually got a chair in my house, which it's not really meant to be sat on. If you're small, you can sit on it. But if you're big, no. But I think somebody, I can't remember who was there. They were like, oh, can you sit on this? And I was like, not really. So they still sat on it. But in that instance, if they didn't break the chair, it was fine. But if they had broke the chair, then I would have been like,
run my cash. I think if you have someone's possessions in your hands or person
or in their house,
you damage them. Yeah. So someone else's possessions, then you are responsible for that.
I
possession.
agree. Because I think that's what I would be like. If I damaged something, if I dirtied something, it's up to you. You can't break something or pour Coke on the sofa and then walk out.
Even if it's an accident, I think that it's your responsibility to pay. I don't think you should even have to ask. I think that the person should say this is the amount. No, this is personally what I would do. This happened to us actually. I borrowed your laptop. I plugged the charger in. The charger blew up. It's not my fault that the charger blew up. What did I do before I returned the laptop? I went and bought a new charger, people.
Oh,
I went to the Apple store.
Yeah. Do I have a new laptop charger?
This is not the current laptop. This is for your Air.
Oh, right.
So I'm guessing that you gave that charger to the person you sold it to.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, but there was never in my mind a moment where I was going to return that laptop with the broken charger. I was going to get the new charger and return it with the charger because at the end of the day, it was in my possession. It doesn't matter if what happened was an accident. It wasn't my fault that it blew up in the socket, but at the end of the day, it was in my possession. So I want to return it as it was. So I think that this person should pay for the chair.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they should pay for, even if it was the dinner table chair that she had said was fine and sturdy and she had sat on it and broke it, you pay for it.
I think also, I think the problem is with some people, because I like nice things in my house as well. And it's if someone comes over and sits on a chair, they're not expecting it to be $200, $300, whatever it is. If they break a chair and it's £60, cool, here's £60. But I think some people, if they realize, oh, but that's $250, that's my quarter of my paycheck or whatever it is for these people, that's a lot of money for them.
Yeah, but you broke it.
Yeah, I think I'll take installments.
And also this girl, she did say, I don't think this chair's good. She said, I don't think the chair's good. And you still insisted on dragging it over to the table and sitting on the chair.
And doing acrobatics.
And doing up acrobatics when you're 300 pounds. Make it make sense. And I also just don't think, this whole discrimination thing can fly for just any and everything. You can't just be like, oh, that's discrimination because I'm larger. Okay, that's your choice. No one, that's your choice. You sat on my chair, again, a choice of yours, and you broke it. Your choices have led you to pay me for the chair.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can't use discrimination for every and anything.
I think also sometimes it's hard, like say like you said with the charger, like say I don't know, something like your toilet or something, your toilet's fine and the next person to flush it like blows up or breaks or whatever it is. There's certain situations like that, then whose fault is that? Because it could just be wear and tear. Like, you know, something that's like not broken, but then the next person to tap it, it could break. Which is just random chance. Who do you blame for that?
I think the thing is, if you just touch something and it breaks, that's not really the same as doing acrobatics on a chair, is it?
No, like say I came to your house, I used your toilet, and your toilet was fine before I got there, but you thought it was fine, you don't know. And then I flushed it and the whole thing's overflowing.
I think a toilet is a bit more of like a sensitive thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna like. The thing is also like I think it really depends on the person also, because I'm not really the sort of person to ask. So like if you don't offer, I'm not gonna ask. It really depends. Like, okay, so like for instance, last time you used my Dyson, the thing melted. I wasn't gonna ask you for money for that.
Did I break it?
But you did break it.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, you broke my Dyson. You broke the diffuser.
What, the head?
Yeah, you melted it.
Sorry, I didn't even know that.
That's all right. But I'm not going to ask. No, it's fine. I bought a new one.
Fuck, everyone's like,
but I wasn't going to ask you to like.
I didn't know I broke it.
I mean, I kind of told.
I think we had a conversation about it. I remember.
Yeah, I was like, when you used my Dyson at Molly's, like you melted it, and then you were like, oh, did I? And I was like, well, yeah, I guess it doesn't work anymore. And then I was just like, okay. But I'm also not the sort of person that's going to ask. I'm just going to be like, this happened. And if the person doesn't say, I'll get you a new one, then I'm just going to be like, okay, I'll just buy a new one. That's just
got you a new one.
It's okay. It was only £20 for a new head. It wasn't really like something to cry over. Well, I didn't buy the Dyson one. I just bought the fake because
how did it melt though?
I haven't got a clue. I don't have
because surely if it's connected to a hairdryer, it's not going to melt.
It wasn't connected to a hairdryer. I remember you were using it with the other hairdryer. So I think that's what melted it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember this.
But anyway, that's not the point. What I'm saying is it's not always gonna be a thing where it's like, for me it really also depends on like what it is. Because like for instance, like before I even told you, I already looked at the price. I thought it was £20. I was like, cool, order. I'm ordering a new one. If it was like a case of I couldn't buy a duplicate for £20 and I had to buy like a £200-300 thing, I might have been like, well, you know, Helena, like you really did break it. Do you know what I mean? But like I think it really depends on the situation, because for a $300 chair, of course you're gonna want your money back. It's $300.
I think also things like I've had friends who have like borrowed like my lipstick or whatever and like lost it, and it's annoying.
But like it's £20, so you're probably not gonna say anything.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't ask for it back. It's just like is what it is, whatever.
Yeah, I think you have to like you choose like what's worth like even asking these things over. Yeah. Like when your sofa got like kind of damaged, it was worth the battle.
Yeah, that was a whole nother situ.
Yeah.
The thing is, I wouldn't have even. Well, I might have asked for like a replacement. I think because I had specific sofa covers that were not cheap and that were like flown in from like Sweden.
Oh, shut up!
They were literally from like Sweden or Denmark or something. Like they weren't like the most expensive thing in the world, but like.
But then also, I think like if in that scenario, if you weren't able to get new covers, would you have asked for a new sofa?
No,
exactly.
I wouldn't have asked for a new sofa.
But that's the whole. That's the point. There's that you take. But
then I think there's a problem, because say if there's like a stain in the middle of your sofa and you can't get a new cover, then what do? You have to replace all of the covers, really and truly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So like, yeah.
I think moral of the story is if it's over £20, I'm asking for it. Under 20 quid, I'll let you
Not
I'll
even
let it
20.
fly.
I think my thing is maybe like 50.
Nah.
Really?
50 quid's a lot of money. 50 pounds?
I've definitely had things like £50 that people have like
really
lost or whatever, and I'm just like, well,
But also, like, I'm also, like, when it comes to like possessions, I'm like a very chilled person because I feel like at the end of the day, it's a possession. Like, it's not something that cannot be replaced. Like, I had one of my friends, he used my GoPro and like lost it in the ocean, and I was like, no problem, like it's got insurance. At the end of the day, like you didn't mean to do it.
Did he pay for the insurance?
Yeah, he was like, oh, I'll pay for your excess.
Okay,
like,
fine.
I think at the end he offered, but like the thing is that like at the end of the day, like I don't personally get angry over broken possessions or lost possessions because
I think it's common decency to like fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think because at the end of the day, I just don't think no one's doing this. No one does it on purpose. Like, and I think this girl, she's not mad at her. Like, she didn't do it on purpose. Like, she didn't want to break your chair. However, you did.
Yeah.
And the decent thing to have done after you had your ice pack would have been to
What
offer.
ice pack?
She said they got her an ice pack for her elbow or something.
She was pissed because she was like, I'm so big, I don't fit in the chair.
But you can't use that. You can't see. Also, do you know what my main problem with this whole scenario is? This girl sounds like she uses her weight as a weapon all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she was already making up issues about things like, my arse so hard I don't fit in this. Oh, this is discrimination. I just think she's already taking it to, like, she's using her weight as a weapon against her friends or like against life, and it's like this can't be used that way.
I've had someone break my car before and not pay for it to be fixed.
What?
Yeah, well, an ex-boyfriend.
Oh, makes sense. And he didn't pay it?
No, he used to use my car and I was like, cool. And then he was a dick. And then I remember once he basically crashed it, he brought it back to me, and it was like the whole like wing mirror was like off. Like the whole thing was coming off.
And he didn't pay for that?
No, he never paid for it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And you didn't, did you ask him to pay for it?
Yeah.
And he just like was like, no.
He was like, yeah, at one point, and then we fell out, and then he was like, fuck you. And I was like,
was he a bad boyfriend in general?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. And you were giving him your car like the muggy one.
Yeah. Yeah, he never paid me back for that ever. And I think for years I was trying to get the money back, and then I was just
years.
Like, yeah.
I would have given up.
Yeah.
Did you even still have the car? But when you
yeah, I still had the car, and then I was like, well, that's not happening.
What an asshole.
Yeah, he didn't pay it.
That's not nice.
And I was like poor back then as well, so it was even worse. Well,
we hope you enjoyed this episode of Am I the Arsehole? And if you did, let us know, because we'll do another one.
It was quite long, the questions.
The questions are quite long, but it's because people are like writing like their whole like life stories. Maybe we'll find some like juicy dating ones or something next.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll do another episode like this because it's quite fun.
Or some embarrassing stories.
Or embarrassing. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming to our sweet guys.
Thanks for joining us. We didn't do an intro.
We didn't do an intro.
No.
Let's do an intro right now.
Hi guys. Welcome to our sweet life.
I'm Ashley.
I'm House.
And
Bye.
bye.